My mom is the, my mom is the Finney Shakur of my life. She is the, she is a radical of radicals, but I love her for it because she has great conviction. She's a prison reform activist. She's an ordained minister. She's a former pastor, former AME pastor. So I'm a pastor's kid. So all the good and the bad that comes along with that. And I think the thing that I learned with her, she'll even tell you, she has no filter, and she doesn't think that there's a single room that she's ever been in that she doesn't belong in. And I think that is, that's something that I took away because, and I was just talking with, this is actually kind of interesting. I was talking with James Carville last night. It was kind of interesting. So part of the campaign is, and I've learned that I have to do this, is call time. And so for at least a couple hours every day, I have to call complete strangers, and I have to ask them, hey, I'm a complete stranger in a place that you're not. Can you give me a couple $100s to keep my campaign going? And the weird thing is that these people are so used to it that sometimes you don't have to say anything. They're like, yeah, I guess so. And those, I can't wait to have that kind of money where just somebody randomly calls and I just toss them a couple $100. But the guy who runs my call time, he knows that I'm easily distracted because I don't like doing it. So he'll put like really interesting characters on there. So one day John Goodman was on there. That was pretty cool. And these are all like real people who play in Louisiana politics. They donate to campaigns and stuff. So James Carville was on there yesterday, and he called me back last night, and we were kind of talking about strategy, and we were talking about kind of what my approach is, how I intend to kind of win. He said his observation. It's always interesting when you hear from some of these folks, particularly like older white Democrats, because when you're not recording them, they will be very candid. And he said, I've been around politics a long time, and I just got to tell you that I don't know what it is with you people. And I just, like, all right, I'll ignore it because I'm trying to get to the point. I don't know what it is with you people, but when you guys get into these rooms, you guys are playing small ball. You guys are asking for crumbs, and so you get crumbs. And he said that part of the issue is, he said that every single time back in the 90s when he'd be dealing with, black congressmen, black mayors, that sort of thing, they'd walk in the room, and with their own colleagues, they would feel lesser than, they'd act lesser than, they'd take lesser deals. And the reason I mentioned my mom never feeling like she was ever in a room that she didn't belong in, I was never raised to somehow think that, like, I'm black smart, or I'm like, like I'm good for a black guy. I was always raised to kind of believe that whatever room I walk in, I was supposed to be there. So when I negotiate, when I talk as an equal. Sometimes that's gotten me in trouble. Sometimes it hasn't. But that's a takeaway that I got from her. And so, like, even in this campaign, part of my message has been that I do think that in majority black districts, we often have lower standards, so we elect lesser leaders. And part of it is, I think that we think that, like, well, that's good for us. Like, that's like for black folks, like, that's a good leader. And we're well past that now. Like, we have very high quality leaders in our community, and yet we still kind of elevate folks that aren't. And so I think my mom's biggest impression on me was that I am as good as I think that I am, and that I belong in every room that I find myself in. And I've really appreciated that.